Hello, thank you for joining me today. My name's Lily and this is my little channel, Lily and the Bee, where I like to share with you all the things I've made. I'm going to start by saying I'm feeling much better today. If you watched my last video, I was feeling a bit apprehensive and a bit doubtful about continuing with the YouTube. I think I just panicked and thought it was going to have a negative effect on my mental health, or could I cope if people were negative or any of that kind of thing. So but I'm feeling better now, and I had so many lovely comments, thank you so much, and they were popping up all week, and I'm a bit like I don't know if you watched is it the Great Pottery Throwdown? I've only ever watched a couple because my daughter really likes it and she came around and we were watching them a couple together. But the man who cries all the time, I'm like him when I get a nice comment. I'm like, oh, my eyes all fill up. I'm like, oh, that was so nice. That person put such a lovely comment. So I get a bit overwhelmed. As you can tell, I'm a very emotional person. But anyway, yeah, and I do feel the comments hugely helped, of course, and also I think I've just pulled myself up a bit and feeling a bit better and a bit more positive about it, and thinking of I think I wasn't expecting to enjoy making the video so much. That's the thing. When I first started it, I was doing it to build my confidence, and I think it would be a positive thing, but I absolutely love it. So I think I had a bit of a panicky moment, which is probably normal doing people who were doing something like this. So yeah, feeling much better this week. And again, thank you for taking the time to comment, everyone who did, and to like the video. And I had some new subscribers as well. So yeah, welcome everybody. And I really appreciate all the positive comments. Thank you. Right, let's get on with what I've got to show you today. I've got a finished crochet item. I've got another of the 1970s magazines. I've got a new project which I'm completely obsessed with, and I've been waking up in the middle of the night thinking about it. I'm so obsessed with it. And a bit of beachcombing, and you would have seen our walk at the beginning of this video, which was last week now, that walk. And there's some pigs on the way to the beach. I showed them at the end, but I didn't film them very close up. It was quite dark, so I'm not sure if you saw them, but next time I go, I'll show them a bit. I'll zoom in and be a bit closer to them. They are really funny because you're walking and you don't expect to hear pigs, and suddenly you can hear these honking, snorting, whatever noise a pig makes. They're really loud because they're normally then getting their food, I think. So yeah, you just don't expect to hear them. But I love pigs. Anyway, yeah, so I think that is it that I'm going to be showing you. So where should we start? Let's go with my blanket. So I say blanket. I bought one. I totally underestimated how many balls of wool I'd need. I bought one thinking I could make a blanket, which is just ridiculous, but it was chunky wool, so it looked quite big. So then I got another one, and it's not a really wide blanket. However, I've decided I want to put it on the end of the bed, like a bed throwy kind of thing, like you have in hotel rooms, one of those long thin things. My husband said that's not a very warm blanket, it looks like a towel because of the shape, but because of what I want it for, he normally loves the blankets, and he's got one that the blanket I made in lockdown, the first blanket, it's big, but he's always got that on his knees. He does like my blankets. He's obviously just hoping for a bigger one. So yeah, I think, well, I'm done with it now. It looks, I've put some tassels in the corners with the horrible wool that I used last week that I didn't really like to make that white chicken with. So I've wound that round. I just made 4 tassels, put in the corners, and it's going to look nice on the end of the bed. So I'm really happy with it. So here it is. I will open it up. As it's so long, you'll be able to show it all in one go. But there are the tassels. It's just self-striping. I think it was Karen yarn cake, I think. If I hold it like that. So it could be a massive scarf. Ooh, it's cozy as a scarf as well, actually. Scarf with pom-poms. But yes, it's for the bed, and probably the cats will jump up and get excited around the tassels and pluck the tassels. I've got some of the wool left, so I can make replacement tassels if needed. But I'm pleased that's finished. But I think it was a good watching television, watching podcasts kind of stitch. You don't have to concentrate, but I got to a stage where I was a bit because it was self-striping, I think I got a bit bored with the colours as well. Whereas I think if I was going to make another self-striping one, which actually I think I will, because I've got the summery kind of, is it Mima Makes blanket, the honeycomb one I'm making with the daisies upstairs. That's kind of a summery feel, and that's a bit more complicated. But I think what I'll do is start another granny stripe blanket, but make it with my own, just get some maybe Stars Craft Special balls of wool, and yeah, maybe, yeah, that's my other project instead of that. So it's still really straightforward, haven't got to concentrate, haven't got to keep looking at a pattern or anything, and that can be bigger. My husband will be impressed. It won't be a towel, it'll be a full size blanket. Maybe I should hang that in the bathroom. She knew towel, Neil. Right, so yeah, I'm pleased that's finished. I did kind of enjoy it, but like I said, I think I got to a stage where it was almost too easy. It was getting a little bit boring. And then the second crochet item is only just another one of these mushrooms, but I did make it into a little keyring or a bag charm. I wish I'd have used different colours, to be honest, because I just used the pink and then white, and then I don't know, I thought it would look nice, but it looks okay, but I would have preferred more. I should have used more sort of brighter colours really mixed in. I don't know why I used the white. Anyway, that is something a bit different to make. I quite like making little things and putting them on key rings. I think that's quite a good idea. Little cute things. And what else have we got? Oh, I'm going to show you my beach combing now. I found some, didn't find it. We went to the part of the beach where there isn't the most sea glass, and sometimes we don't find any, but I did find a few pieces. So I will show you, which are all similar colours, but they're nice and big. I wonder if I can show you. Oh yes, I think I can. So they're all quite large pieces, and they're all smooth and frosted, so they were nice to find. And then laying on the beach, I found this, and I thought, oh, it's perfect for Valentine's Day, although it's not Valentine's Day yet. A pottery heart. So I was so pleased that I found that. So what I'm going to do is drill a hole at the top here and make it into a little hangy. I can just put a little piece of string through, and I can just hang it. I might hang it in the garden up against the wall, or I might hang it in a tree, or I'm going to hang it somewhere anyway. So that's my little heart. So I'm so excited I found that, and it was heart shaped. I also found a piece of curvy pottery, which I presume would have been a bowl or something. So that's quite a big piece as well. When I'm on the beach and I see something laying upside down like this or like this, the excitement of turning it over and thinking, is it going to be something like this, which is what I found once? Is it going to have something on the other side, writing or something, or a pattern or something really exciting? And it's rare that it does, but occasionally it does. So I think that's the thing I really like about beachcombing. Actually, I don't know, is anyone who's in the UK watching the new Neil Morrissey it's a metal detecting, it's like a drama, and Neil Morrissey, it's really good. I've already watched one episode and I'm really enjoying it so far. But when did Neil Morrissey turn into my dad? He looks exactly the same as my dad. I remember him from Men Behaving Badly, and was he Robin Hood once? I don't know, but I remember from years ago watching him in things, and he's got a white beard and grey hair. It's like my dad now. But I'm really enjoying that. That's really good. I was talking to Neil and saying, oh, I'd quite like to go metal detecting. I guess it's similar to beachcombing, but you've got the thing and the beepy beepy noise. Don't know what the thing is called. Metal detector. Yeah, I'd quite like to do that. I imagine me getting into that and a little shovel and finding a tin can or something, or whatever it might be. Yeah, so maybe that's a future hobby. I don't know. I've got enough hobbies, haven't I? Actually, I had to do I've applied for a different job at work, and I had to redo my CV, and I think it's been about 12 years. And anyway, I was thinking, well, I'm not sure if you even need to have a hobby section. But I need a hobby section. I need a whole A4 sheet of all my hobbies. I have so many. So I tried to cut it down. And I don't even know if they look at the hobbies. Anything might be an old-fashioned thing, putting your hobbies on a CV. I don't know. Right, so I've got another 70s magazine, which I'm going to show you. I'll just show you one, and then I'll show you another one another week. Fashion Maker in 98 weekly parts. So we have a lovely hat on the front page with a thoughtful lady. And on the back we have dress your family fashionably and save money too. And we have a look at that dressing gown. That looks nice. Oh, look at, wow, the little girl's dressing gown. I quite like that. It looks quite nice. But yes, dress your family. And there is something I'm going to make in here. We have an evening dress. And a man who looks a bit like my next door neighbour. We are semi-detached. I don't think he can hear the whisper. And he doesn't dress like that. But when I looked at it, it just reminded me of him a bit. And I'll do a quick flick through. It looks Christmassy. A Christmassy tank top. I've been looking at projects that I want to make in the future, and because I've been thinking I'd like to crochet, I put or knit in my little list. I know I can't really knit, but I really still want to. I crochet or knit, probably crochet tank, not this one, like a tank top or something. So a jumper or tank, and I'd like, in my mind, I think it'd be great to make it, and I could wear it for the East Anglia Yarn Festival, my own made item, but I don't know. I need to start doing that now, really, because that's at the beginning of March. It doesn't give me much time. So, yeah. And also I saw someone, I can't remember who it was, but made almost like a, not a shawl, but a smaller version of a shawl, like it was called a bandana, and that was tied just to wrap around your neck a little bit. I've got quite a sensitive skin, so anything too woolly, I get a bit sort of, not sore, but it's a bit irritating. So I'm not sure about that. But yeah, maybe a tank top or something, or I don't think I've got time to make a cardigan. Yeah, so many ideas. And little girl eating, and she looks a bit small to be eating an apple like that. An apple. I'm not an apple. A little apron, is it? It's a pinafore. Embroidery. Embroidery, the word I can't say. That's pretty. I don't think children would wear it now though. There's the roller hat. And I have to show you the item that I do. This is what I am going to try and make. This is, because I've got some of those handles. So, because I want to make at least one thing from these magazines. This is a bag. And there's all different stitches. They've used what's it called? If it says what the stitches are. I'm not sure what stitch it is, but it's a needle weaving. So basically, the idea is you stitch an open stitch like this, but then you weave something through. So I thought, well, because it's too, I mean, you could line it and use it as a bag just like that. But I imagined having it like that, but then weaving some macrame cord through, or even strips of fabric, or not sure, but that's on my list of things that I'm definitely going to make. I can't find, it doesn't say what that, it just says needle weaving. Sample, and this is the basic open background for needle weaving. So I think it's quite a basic stitch, crochet stitch, that's quite gappy. Yeah, and then you weave in. So I think it could look awful. Excuse me, it could look awful, it could look really, really cool, I don't know. And there's a knitting machine. My mum used to have a knitting machine. Remember the noise? That's what I need, a knitting machine, don't I? So I can have some twin skirts, so I don't have to try and learn to knit. And some bags. Quite nice fabric. And I don't think there's anything else that I want to make. All this. Oh my goodness, look at this. That's a bed and a half, isn't it? I feel like if that was my bedroom and that was my bed, every night I'd have to look underneath that lacy valance and make sure there's nobody hiding under there. I think that is it. And then we have the advert for the grill, which you'd think were quite modern, those grills, but they had those in the... This is the Rima cooker. Save hours cooking with the Rima infrared grill. Should I send away for it now? The little thing was interesting, you got to get it. Still got the thing to apply for it, to order it. Yeah, so there's another of the lovely crochet magazines. I've got one left and I will share that with you next week. Enjoyed looking through those. and I'm going to show you my project which I have been obsessed with, which is a slow stitching journal. So I've watched a few videos in the past, YouTube videos, and I've got a book about kind of hand dyeing fabric and slow stitching. Slow stitching is basically, it's the process rather than the finished project. So you're basically enjoying the putting the fabric together and the actual sewing, rather than I'm sewing this because this is what I'm going to make at the end. But that doesn't mean that the end product is not going to look very nice. It just means that that's not the main aim. The aim is to enjoy what you're doing as you're going along, which you may be doing when you're sewing anyway. I guess you could be sewing and you could be enjoying it and being mindful about it anyway. And at the beginning of the year, I did keep thinking, I mean, people do temperature blankets and mood blankets, and kind of, I thought about maybe embroidery, do a little embroidery each week kind of thing, and I couldn't, I wasn't passionate enough about any of the things to do them throughout the year. But I was speaking with a colleague friend at work about crafting, and I just mentioned slow stitching and slow stitching journals, and then we started talking about it, and then I just got so excited about it ever since. So what I have done is, this is my own interpretation. I have some, this is just what I had, so I'm not sure whether I would have chosen it. I'd probably have chosen something a bit thicker. I would maybe think calico. But the other good thing about this is you don't have to buy anything. In theory, you could, the only things you actually need are some scraps of fabric, which you could get from a tablecloth, an old shirt, you could even use a towel if you wanted to, literally anything. Cut them up. I've just cut them up and stitched down the centre just to join them together. This is going to be covered up in the end, this centre line, so I mean, they are fairly neat, but it doesn't matter too much what they look like. And again, this isn't about being neat, this is about enjoying the process. So this is going to be the centre of the book, and what I'm going to do is, I've got an outside of the book as well, which is, I've used wadding for this, but again, you could use absolutely anything. You could use felt, you could just use the same fabric. So when the book, and this is going to be covered eventually, so I'm going to put this in here. Let me just do it first, then I'll show you. Fold it so it's right. So this will be like this, and then that will fold over there, and I will put a button and a little loop there, so that wraps around. But this will be a project I've literally only been thinking about it. I've been thinking about it quite a lot. I've been quite excited about it this week. And eventually this will be covered in slow stitching. So basically it will be scraps of fabric. Let me show you the example I have made. So this is the one that I made. I just quickly made this yesterday. So I've just used fabric that I already had. I've got fabric with birds on. I've got this lovely map fabric. And what I've decided to do with mine is, well, first I'll just tell you this, I will then stitch this again with slow stitching onto the first page. So I will just stitch this on here. I will do another one, a different day, a different kind, and I will then stitch that on the other side. So eventually it will be a whole book, and then I will also do something similar on the cover. But my idea for how I want to work mine is, it's really forceful then, how I want to work mine, because I'm a bit passionate about it and excited about it, so I'm coming across a bit aggressive. So how I want to work mine is things I've been thinking about. I thought it would be a good reminder of, like, for example, I made a little leaf out of the same wool that I'd made, is she there? No, that I'd made the little rabbit with, and I made a little rabbit mushroom bag and made her little leg warmers. So I wanted a little memory of that, just a little reminder of what I've been making this month. So that's why I used that. I put the birds on because they're all kind of getting, it's not spring, but the birds are out and about, and I've started feeding them again. I had stopped because of bird flu, and I just got the chickens. I didn't know whether the bird flu would come. I didn't want to encourage the birds, and then my chickens got bird flu, but there hasn't really been any bird flu or any restrictions or anything this year. So I've started feeding them again. So and I love birds anyway. So I've put a couple of birds on, just a little pink button. And the map, because we are planning our camper van trip in where we're going away in May. So we've been talking a lot about that. Well, my husband's been planning it. I've been just agreeing because he does all the planning, which is fine by me. So that's my first page. So I've mainly used fabric, and as I said, if you wanted to make one but you're not massively into the sewing, you could, any of the wool you're using for a knitting project, you could plait a little bit and you could just stitch that on, or you could just knit a little swatch or a little tiny granny square and stitch just as a little reminder of the things that you were making or that you were doing throughout the month. But it can be absolutely anything. And I guess I have a lot of scrap fabric, so I'm in the position where I do have a lot, but you could use old clothes if you've got, I don't know, a blouse or something that you love or it has memories, but it's just, you don't wear it anymore, it's too old, you could use a piece of that. Yeah, I was just thinking of so many ideas. So I think mine will be kind of memories of the things that I am making and I am working on. And also, things I'm thinking about, things we do, holidays. I mean, it doesn't just have to be fabric or wool. You can use ribbons. Let me have a look. So I wrote down loads of ideas, so let me go through and have a look what I wrote down. I need to know, you only need to know one stitch. In theory, you are just stitching up and down, like running stitch in and out, really straightforward. And it's not even about the neatness, it's about, as I said, the actual doing it and the process. So yeah, at the minimum you would need some upcycled fabric and thread and a needle. You can use fabric, clothes, towel, upcycled paper. Yeah, you could even sew paper on. You could you could use stamps, which I want to do, but I was looking last night, looking for my stamps. I don't have loads. I have a bee because I'm Lily and the Bee, and I've got a couple of flowers, and I think I've got an alphabet somewhere, but I don't know where I put them, so I've got to try and find them or buy some more. You could use embroidery if you like embroidery. You could embroider, use cross stitch. Words embroidered or stamped. Let's have a look what else I put. Crochet shapes, I said that. Buttons, ribbons, feathers, found items. You could say you found, if it was a leaf, you could print it. You could even paint it and print it on the fabric. You could dye your own fabric. Just so many ideas, and at the end of it, you're going to have a lovely yearly book. I'm not going to. I don't know whether I'll do it every couple of weeks or once a month, or it will definitely be at least once a month. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the front cover. That'll be covered all over, but I don't know with what or what style. A lot of the ones I was looking at, in fact, all of the ones I was looking at, they all seem to be the same style, which was quite lacy, vintagey, shabby chicy kind of looking, where I don't really want to make mine that kind of style. I want to use, I mean, this isn't bright, particularly bright, but I want to make them quite bright and colourful and cheery. And yeah, I even thought, I was thinking most things you could put on, I thought seaweed. No, I can't sew seaweed on the bee. That would smell very nice, would it? But beach gloss. I mean, I put on my neck. Sorry, my neck is always cricking in these videos. I drill holes in my sea glass, but if you found a little stone or something, you could sew, or a shell. I'm sure if you just stitched round and round and round, it wouldn't fall out anyway. So you could stitch something you found off the beach, or anything really. I'm sure you can think of different ideas yourselves if you wanted to, if it's something that you wanted to make. But it's something I've thought about in the past. I said I have watched videos, and now I want to do it. I've been so excited about it. So yes, I will share that with you as I go along and share what I've put on here. And it's a good way to use up a lot of my fabric scraps as well. A lot of charity shops do sell fabric, and also what I've seen a lot of is embroidery threads. I do have quite a lot already, but if you could probably find them quite cheap, and you don't have to have the DMC expensive ones. If something like this you could use, I mean you can anyway, but you could use any make of thread. And also if you were, I don't know, say you're into cross stitch is your thing, you'd have loads left from other projects, so it'd be a good way to use them up as well. So yes, something I'm really passionate about, and quite excited, so I will regularly show you how I'm getting on with that as well, and maybe someone will want to join in and make their own. I don't know, it might be just me that I think is really interesting and exciting to do. but there's a few ideas anyway. I've exhausted myself talking about that. Have I got anything else on my list? I think that's everything, because initially I was going to leave a longer gap because I thought I wouldn't have anything to show you, but because I finished that and then I got excited about the slow stitching, I feel like I have had things to talk about, but I'm going to double check in my organisation book. Yes, that is everything today. I hope you found that interesting and enjoyed spending some time with me. I will be back in a week and I will probably have some completely different things that I've been making, just depending what ideas pop in my head. Thank you so much for joining me, and take care everyone, and I will see you soon.